Kennedy and Rockefeller Center. This is News 4 New York.
Now, if you're looking for a laugh, and who isn't these days, you don't have to leave the comfort of your computer. Just watch Comedy Matters TV, the brainchild of our guest tonight, Jeffrey Gurian, also co-author of the book Make 'em Laugh. Jeffrey, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's so great to be here.
What's the book about?
The book is about an incredible comedy club, a legendary club called the Comic Strip on 81st and 2nd, right in the heart of New York City. And it opened on June 1st of 1976, and it's still going strong, believe it or not.
35 years old, right?
36 actually, but the book was written when it was 35 years old. Isn't that amazing?
Pretty amazing. And you wrote for some of the biggest names in comedy there. Tell us about some of them.
Oh, God. Well, I've had the good fortune to work with legends like Rodney Dangerfield and Joan Rivers and Richard Belzer, Gilbert Gottfried. I want to know, I wrote for many Friars roasts over the years, which is how I got that photo that you're going to see in a little bit.
Well, let's show that photo right now. It's a shot of you with Chuck Scarborough and Roger Grimsby.
Right. In 1984, Chuck was honored by the Friars Club, and I had the honor of writing his material with him.
I trust you only wrote clean material.
Well, of course, for Chuck Scarborough, of course. We would only do clean material. It changed the whole tenor of the Friars roasts, because we would only do clean material, of course. But that's where I found out what a great sense of humor Chuck has. Still such a good-looking man, right?
Now, we know he, can tell us all about the news, but how did you teach him to do comedy?
We worked on it very hard, but he has a great sense of humor. A lot of news people seem to be very funny. The way this book came about, actually, in 2008, I was at the Comic Strip with Ann Curry and Gilbert Gottfried, and we were coaching Ann on how to do stand-up comedy. She's very funny, by the way. All these news people are hysterically funny.
I'm glad you find us all so funny.
Well, because you're good with copy. You know, you can take words off the paper, and it takes confidence to get up on stage and do comedy. So I'm there at the club, and I'm looking at the walls, and I see all these pictures. I mean, all the people, all the stars that started here. Seinfeld and Billy Crystal, Ray Romano, Gilbert Gottfried, Susie Essman, Colin Quinn. And I said to Richie Tienken, who is the owner and the founder of the club, you got to do a book on this club. Now, a lot of people had suggested that to him. And so he said, well, he came to my house to talk about it, and he saw that I had more pictures on my wall than he had at the club.
So he said, you get to write the book.
I think you're the guy. Yeah, and so that started in 2008, and my first 3 interviews were done at the Just for Laughs Festival in Montreal, the biggest comedy festival in the world. It was Larry Miller, George Wallace, and Paul Provenza.
Of all the people you've written for, who was the easiest to write for? Who did you sync with the most?
Rodney. Rodney was amazing. Just being in his company was so funny. I had the best time. I would just be laughing writing the jokes for him. And
Did you get respect?
I got a lot of respect. When I gave him jokes, I said, Rodney, how are these jokes? He goes, yeah, but they got to be funny, you know, Jeff.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much, and continue being funny.
Oh, thanks so much. It was great being on with you.
And that'll do it for News 4 New York at 7. NonStop Foodies is next. I'm Roseanne Coletti. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening out there.